games remaining, so now it kind of feels like an actual semifinal. And here we go. We've got teams on the field. We're ready to go, and there's a look at Chloe Cox. Chloe Cox getting the start today in the circle for this Grandview Christian Thunder team. And Andy, what have we seen from Chloe so far this year in the circle?
Yeah, I'm just going to mention that depth for Grandview Christian is going to help out a bunch right now if they get this first game one, having two pitchers that can go the distance. But Chloe Cox, like I said, has been really good. 19-2 on the season, an ERA of under 2, 1.76. Has struck out over 100 batters this year and doesn't walk many either. So she's got 23 appearances, has got the bulk of the innings during the season, but her and Epperly Weitzel have both split duties here at the state tournament.
And we were going to see the Regina offense that will be led by Lily Neibauer. We'll see her in the circle later, but she is also the leadoff hitter. Neibauer, Kleppe, Gaffey, Armentrout, Irwin Davison had a great game yesterday. Klein, Rogers, and White are the 9 batters in the order for the Regals of Regina. The 4 seed coming into this tournament, Grandview Christian, the 1 seed.
In the way this tournament is set up, even though Iowa City Regina holds the cards right now as the team that only needs to win once, they will be the visiting team because they were the lower seed coming into the tournament. So everything throughout the tournament is going to go off the original seeds, and you see some really nice batting averages at the top of this Regina order.
And we are ready to go. Chloe Cox in the circle, and Chloe Cox facing off against Neibauer. First pitch going outside the zone. Both teams in their whites today. It's white on white for Regina at bat, and it's the white on black for the Thunder of Grandview Christian.
Try to keep that straight up here.
And this one is bunted foul. The one good thing about baseball and softball when teams have similar jerseys is they're either in defense or they're in offense. They're not next to each other like you see in some sports.
Well,
we're looking at other sides of the net, you know.
I find myself sometimes, though, wondering, did I have the right team? Am I calling the right roster here?
Cox, 1 ball and 1 strike here on Neibauer. And the 1-1 set is swung on and foul tipped. Neibauer can either lay down the bunt, as we've seen, otherwise she can slap it. And that's what you get from a really good slap hitter is you just never know what they're going to do. And as you have talked about a couple of times today, sometimes we'll even still try to lay down that bunt with 2 strikes because they do it so often. The 1-2, she will slap this time and slap it right back up the middle. That's the versatility of a slap hitter, and Neibauer is aboard.
Good timing on the pitch up in the zone there. Able to hit pretty fat right back up the middle. And, yeah, Neibauer, good start to the game for Regina.
Regina's got their leadoff runner on over at first base. This is Keegan Kleppe. Kleppe is the shortstop on defense. We talked about this Regina order. The first 2 in the order are lefties. White in the 9 spot, also a lefty. So we get into a spot later on in the game where it's back half of the order to front half of the order. You could go 3 straight lefties for Regina. But here at the top half of the order, just the 2 to lead things off. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike on Keegan Kleppe. The 0-1. Off-speed pitch. Misses for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the drop change a little bit up in the zone. Just got a little bit of a late break.
Cox sent with the 1-1 offering, and that pitch misses high for ball 2. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike.
Changing the view, changing the planes right now, trying to catch her in a couple different ways to get a swing. It's all about making the ball look like you can hit it and then not being able to hit it.
The sent in the 2-2 pitch from Cox is outside for ball 3, and now 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to Regina, the Regals. 12th state tournament appearance. They've won 5 state championships. Nearly half of the times they're here at state, they win the title. Foul ball down the third base side. Good hustle down to first. Either way for Kleppe. Three balls and 2 strikes on Kleppe. Cox the set and the payoff 3-2 pitch is swung on over to third base. A chance for a double play, and they'll get it.
No, there was no pitch. Yeah, I'm not
no
sure
pitch.
What the situation is. No pitch. She was called out right away, so they're going to move everybody back. So they would love to have that back right now, would Regina, but would Grandview Christian, but Jeff Nijhaas comes out and says that contact was made outside the box, so Kleppe is out, and that's a dead ball right away.
So dead ball. Batter is outside the box. And going to ask for help. Coach DeMolinaire comes in from Grandview Christian and asks for all the umpires to get together. They all agree. It appears a lot of nodding heads. So they all agree with our home plate umpire that that's the way it will stand. So instead of a double play, it's just one out for Iowa City. Regina as Gaffey will step in, the second baseman.
I imagine that conversation went something like Jeff Nijhaas coming in and saying,
ground ball, second base side, could be two. They go to second for one. They go to first, not in time. They will get the fielder's choice on a 4-6. But do not get the relay over to first base in time. There's two away.
Yeah, he walks in and says, that was right, guys, correct. And then you get Cam Cooksey and Jace Parker both saying, yep, that was right. Okay, there we go. It's that simple. That's about how long the conversation went.
So after surrendering that leadoff single from Cox to Neibauer, Grandview Christian has a path out now as Brooklyn Armentrout steps in. The third baseman. The runner at first base, 1 ball and no strikes. And this one's fouled back to the backstop.
Gaffey not much of a threat to steal over there at first. Just a handful of stolen bases on the season. More of an opportunistic swiper.
Armentrout had a hit and a run scored in the game against Hinton. She also had a hit and a run scored in the game against Cardinals. So for the tournament, 2 hits and 2 runs scored so far for Armentrout.
Really nice pitch by Cox. Almost got the swing.
2 balls and 1 strike the count. Cox set with the 2-1 offering, and it's outside for a ball, and a great job there behind the plate by Murphy, being able to get out and get that one.
A couple rise balls in a row. Now time to come right back to one in the zone.
3 balls and 1 strike the count. Cox will need to go back to the zone here, and she does find the strike, so it's 3-2. Comes in, paints that outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes, runner at first. A leadoff single. And that's been all to show for us so far for the Regals here in the top half of the first inning as that one's fouled down the first base side.
Armentrout got on top of a rise ball. Don't see that happen very often. Got on top of it and chopped it there. Foul.
So we'll do this all over again. The 7th pitch of this at-bat.
They tell you to try to get on top of them with the thought that you're going to actually hit it solid.
The 3-2 is ball 4. So the Regals will move the runner to second base.
Regina starting to string a few things together now with 2 outs. And, throughout the course of this tournament, we've seen so many teams put together big rallies with 2 outs. And there's a mental kind of breath of fresh air that you take when you get that second out of an inning, but got to follow it all the way through. You're only 66% done at that point.
Irwin steps in. She was so fantastic in that first game against Hinton yesterday, as that one is in there for a called strike. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Irwin against Hinton. And man, oh man, could they use a big hit from her here today. No balls and 1 strike the count. The set from Cox. And they're going to back pick over at first. Now the throw to third. They don't get either of them.
They definitely had the opportunity to get the out over at first base, but quickly trying to pick off the lead runner. Would have been the 3rd out of the inning, too. But Kind of use it as a first to third situation like you would with a runner trying to score home.
It looked like that Grandview Christian had Armentrout picked off there at first base. 1-1 is going to be in there for a called strike now, 1-2. Instead, Rosado decided to fire over to third, and now it's first and third here for Iowa City Regina.
That's the advantage of a lefty over there at first base as well. Rosado has that happening in front of her. She got excited when she saw the runner heading to third.
The 1-2 offering is low for ball two. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Cox trying to get out of things here for Grandview Christian.
Cox staying very low in the zone so far. Regina not a huge power hitting team, but she is definitely trying to get some ground balls out of these situations.
The 2-2. Right back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Can they go to second? The flip. Not in time. I thought that was an easy base hit. Instead, making it a close play. There at second base was Beamer as she tried to flip it up to the shortstop. And just could not quite get it there in time.
Really
Vandersloot got over.
Really good play just to keep that ball in the infield and then to have the presence of mind to also try to get the out at second. Very close.
So the run will come home and score to be an RBI single. Beamer made that a lot closer than it was supposed to be. A fantastic defensive play there at second base. Just could not quite get the out, and now a no ball and 1 strike counts on Davison, who has had a fantastic tournament, and she continues with a base hit to load the bases. Davison has been almost automatic at the plate for Regina in this tournament, and now the bases are loaded for the DP Klein, who has gone yard in this game already once this tournament. But before that, Coach DeMolinaire will come out and bring everybody together.
Well, and nothing's been a huge hard contact. They've just been able to put that ball in the places where the Thunder are not so far. So, seen this a couple times in first innings of games where the ball is finding openings. That's exactly how we've got this one started off right now as well.
Jordan Klein, the designated player, a young lady on this team. And she will come up with the bases loaded in this one. Trying to really open things up for Regina in this top half of the first inning. 1 run across. Klein, just a freshman. And she'll get a face Cox here with the bases loaded. Cox, the set and the pitch. And Klein will foul it off.
Wow, Klein got around on an outside pitch there. Somehow got it over to the left side of the infield.
Davison, another hit, gets aboard. Coach Kessler decides to not send the run, which probably a good decision as that ball came in quickly from center field. No balls and a strike, and the pitch is high and away for a ball. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Cox has thrown a lot of pitches over the course of this tournament so far. Grandview Christian into their 4th game. Of course, again, we mentioned having Epperly there. It was helped out quite a bit.
This one's on the ground to the right side. They'll go to second in time for the out, so Grandview Christian will get out of it. A couple of great defensive plays there at second base by Beamer. Leave the bases loaded. 1 run across for Regina. We've played a half. It's the Regals 1. Coming to bat, Grandview Christian after this. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1,000,000. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Welcome back to Fort Dodge Hy-Vee Field, the home of Class 2A. Up until we reach the championship games, Renee Castell, Andy Pollock with you, high above this Hy-Vee Field as we head to the bottom half of inning number 1, and we're going to get to see our first look at the Grandview Christian lineup, and there's Lily Neibauer in the circle getting sent for this one. It'll be Vandersloot, Murphy, Bird, Cox, Rosado, Cruz, Beamer, Pullman, Rogers in the order for Grandview Christian. What have we seen from Neibauer?
Well, Neibauer, you're going to see a full complement of pitches. She's got a little bit of everything. You know, not a super overpowering fastball, but it looks a lot faster after all the other junk that she throws. 20-7 on the season. ERA of under 1.7. And the younger sister of a couple other ladies who won state titles here, so trying to catch up to them.
5 state titles for this Regina team. Neibauer trying to lead the team to a 6th. They've got the fast pass that Andy was talking about yesterday. They just have to win one of these games against Grandview Christian. Grandview Christian will need a win 2.
Vandersloot here, really big-time spark plug for Grandview Christian.
And Vandersloot to lead things off. Swings and misses at that one. The shortstop for this Grandview Christian team. Saw her in action already at her shortstop position in the top half of this half inning. And that one will miss for a ball.
Good spot on the 0-2 pitch, though. It's really tough to lay off that one. Just close enough to the zone that you still thinking you got to protect.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is foul down the third base side. As Vandersloot just getting a piece of that one. We'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think she was trying to protect her face as Neibauer came up and in hard with a fastball.
One ball, 2 strikes. Back in the left-handed batter's box is Vandersloot. The pitch, and this one's again fouled on a play. Kind of a half swing there by Vandersloot. Sends that one over. Not sure who finished off that 1A game, but I know Fort Dodge St. Edmunds was up by 4 at one point on Remsen St. Mary's. Looks like that game has come to a conclusion as well over on our 1A field to our left. Here's the 1-2. And again down the third base side, just foul for Vandersloot as she fouls a couple off here.
Well, I know as you watch this alignment of Regina right now, Harper Irwin out there in left field not playing up close as you would a lot of times on these slappers. As I say that, she moves in a little bit, but we've seen a couple balls go over the heads of left fielders who have tried to cheat in a little bit more. So Irwin staying pretty normal depth out there against the slapper Vandersloot.
The 1-2, and again down the third base side, and it's fair. A fair ball for Vandersloot. Around first, heading for second. It was right on the line. The umpire right in front of it says fair ball. Not played out in left field by Irwin as she was trying to catch up to it. And it falls just fair, and Vandersloot easily gets into second base.
Well, I just got done saying about how they don't want to back up too far, and she dropped it right in that slot, right on the line. Just a great piece of hitting. I mean, she fought off a lot of pitches there to get herself finally to that double, and you saw when she finished it up the energy that she brings back to that dugout. They feed off each other.
Murphy steps in, and Murphy will take a first pitch for a ball, 1-0. So after surrendering a run in the top half of the first inning, Grandview Christian now has a runner in scoring position. Channel Seeds extra base hits. All of our extra base hits brought to you by Channel Seeds. Visit channel.com/rise. Ground ball to the right side, going to move the runner. It will be the first out of the half inning, but they're going to get Vandersloot over to third base with just one out.
Yeah, kind of a similar situation that you'd look for in a sacrifice bunt. Got to push down that right side.
Sophie Bird will step in now, the third baseman. Plays position 5, wears number 5, bats from the right side, has a runner at third base, trying to score that run. And it gets away from the catcher. Here comes Vandersloot, and she will score. A checked bunt there by Bird kind of threw everybody off. It gets away from Rogers behind the plate, and the first run is across the board.
I think they're going to discuss things and make sure that it was not a foul ball. As Bird, you just change the catcher's point of view when you do that, because the catcher starts to come up thinking that they're going to have to defend the bunt. And then immediately you got to go back to, I also have to catch the pitch.
Yep. It did dart off to the right as if it could have.
Yeah, there was no argument, though, from anybody on Regina's side, so the right call made by this crew.
It hit off of Rogers and not off of the bat to dart off that first base side, so the run is across for Grandview Christian. We're tied at 1. Here in the first inning, that pitch is in there for a called strike. Now no balls and 2 strikes the count.
Rogers had to go down low to grab that ball. Little downward movement.
Trying to frame him up behind the plate for Neibauer. Here's the 0-2. This one is lined to the right side. Ooh, just off the glove of the first baseman, Noller, as she reached out trying to grab that one just off the glove and tips towards the dugouts on the first base side.
It's a tough play to make because that ball is spinning away from you and tailing away, especially from a first baseman having to reach across to get it.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Ground ball towards the middle of the infield. It snagged the fire to first in time. That was played well there by the shortstop as Kleppe comes across the middle, snags it. Good transfer and across the diamond.
Yeah, just watching the confidence that Kleppe plays with. I mean, she rifled that ball across the infield after she was able to pick it up. And, the shortstops in these tournaments, as you watch, and the amount of reps that they've got over the years, a lot of these shortstops are future college athletes, and just watching what they all bring to the game.
So it'll be the pitcher now. Chloe Cox here in the 4 spot steps in. 2 outs for Grandview Christian, trying to restart their offense with nobody on base. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike on the outside corner.
Neibauer has worked her way ahead in these counts. Just was not able to get Vandersloot out to start. That's why they got it tied up.
The 0-1 is in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Between these two teams, the 4 seed Iowa City Regina, the 1 seed Grandview Christian. Here is the 1-1. And that one misses outside for a ball. No chase from Cox. On the outside corner, it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Cox, .495 hitter this season, does have a couple of home runs in this cleanup spot. A slight defensive change or a slight defensive realignment for Regina as they send the second baseman Gaffey closer to first base on that pitch. That's now 3-1. Now she'll go back closer to her normal position. Did shade again closer to first base, playing the right side. There she goes again against Cox, and Cox does go to the right side, but it's in the air to right field, and the catch will be made for out number 3, getting out of it with Maggie White grabbing the catch out in right field. So 1 run surrendered by each team in the top and the bottom half of the first inning. 1 complete. It's Grandview Christian 1. It's Iowa City Regina 1. We'll come back. Second inning is next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge and the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Iowa City, Regina, Grandview Christian, the Thunder getting sent for the top half of the second inning. Both teams surrender a run in the first, and we've got a good one here through one inning complete between these two.
We expected a lot of energy to come to Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex today. It certainly has been that way. All these games leading towards elimination and two standing in each class at the end of the day.
8, 9, and 1 due up for the Regals. In this half inning, they'll go with Rogers, White, and then back to the top of the order with Neibauer. The face-off against Chloe Cox, and Rogers will take her first plate appearance of the ball game. And that one is in the dirt for a ball. 7 coming to the plate for the Regals in the first inning. They score 1 run. There's a look at Rogers. Got the pink bat to go along with the pink batting gloves and the arm sleeve. She's all decked out in Iowa Girl pink. Here's the 1-0. That one's in there for a called strike now, 1-1.
Cox continues to play around to that lower part of the zone.
Even got the elbow pad.
Yeah, she's got all pink out there.
The elbow pad going pink as well.
Still don't have a tiara. I thought Ellie Ruffridge was going to be bringing one up to me, but
I did talk to her about it this morning.
yeah, she brought it up. I thought one was coming up, but apparently not. Been forgotten about like all the other times here at the tournament.
We found one. We found one downstairs.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, we found one downstairs, and we had it for a second. It just did not make its way into the press box.
You know, if I get my hands on one, I'm going to run off like that with that thing like it's a crown jewel of London.
The 2-1. Ground ball towards the middle of the infield. It's played over to first in time for out number 1. Vandersloot plays it well from the middle of the infield and gets a strong throw across the diamond to Rosado.
It's fun to see all the swag they have for all the players that are around the tournament. The champions get a lot. You go home with a huge haul, but I might try to get one of these balls that is in the netting above us for a keepsake for myself. But, yeah, just a lot. They get the ball, they get the plaque, they get the hat, the shirt, tiara now.
Enough gear to do a TikTok haul when they get home, right?
TikTok haul and maybe throw in a pink monster while they're at it.
There you go.
All sorts of pink that they've got on up here. And it is Wednesday, so the whole IGHSAU staff is wearing pink today. Probably saw Director Jim Dewey on social media this morning.
That's a foul ball down the third base side.
Weather could not be more perfect for state tournament out here as we're looking at about 74 degrees right now and just a slight breeze blowing out to center. I mean, it is a Chamber of Commerce day up here in Webster County.
The set and the 0-2 pitch. On the outside corner, that'll be a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maggie White, who we saw in right field, make a play already. The batter here from the left side, and then again, this is what we were talking about. You go the next 2 also lefties with Neibauer and Kleppe. The next 2 to bat if needed. Here's the 1-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. It'll be a strikeout for Cox. And 2 away here on the top half of the second inning as Neibauer comes to the plate.
Well, I think the pitch fooled White quite a bit right there. I think she was expecting something that was a little more off speed and came with a fastball up and in and just way behind the swing. A little velocity there being shown by Cox. Infield in again now.
Neibauer with a single in her first at-bats. Showed bunt a couple of times and then ended up slapping it right through the middle of the infield out into center field to get herself on as the leadoff runner in the first inning.
Seen this more and more over the last several years as more and more teams with that threat of the bunt, the way that
And again, bunts it down the first base side, but will bunt it just foul.
Yeah, the way that Grandview Christian is playing this right now, they move Beamer up from her second base spot. That allows you to leave your other fielders in kind of a normal role, because the old school way of doing it, you brought your first baseman in to cover the bunt, and then the second baseman would have to come over and cover. But the amount of times that I saw balls thrown over the top of the second baseman's head, and so a few years back, someone came up with the idea of, wait a minute, what if we had the second baseman on a bunting situation come up and field it, still throw over to your first baseman, and that's the alignment that Grandview Christian's in right now with Rosado manning her spot over there at first base, and Beamer up to play the bunt.
Well, and just a lot of second basemen just don't have that experience at first base, and you got to have that experience. And you think about it, and you're like, well, it's just you're catching the ball, but there's so much more to it.
Footwork is
footwork,
big, yeah.
Positioning, inside, outside of the bag. I mean, there's just so many things at first base, and this one slapped down the third base side that it just makes so much more sense to keep your first baseman at first base.
Well, and you've got you're catching the ball on the run a lot of times too. Just a lot of moving parts when that bunt is done, and you'll see. Now with 2 strikes, expect them to go back to their normal alignment. No, they still have Beamer up, playing pretty close. There she goes. Now they just communicated. Got the heads up over there at short.
She's not quite all the way to normal, but she's further back than she was. Right back up the middle. It's a base hit. Right in the same spot for Neibauer. And she's 2 for 2 on the day, slapping it right up the middle.
Neibauer trying to help her own cause there. Again, just a patient hitter. Waits for a good pitch to hit. And the second she gets one, right back up through the infield.
With Neibauer, you almost need to go back to before the MLB changed the rules of where you could have people. You almost got to have like a left fielder play like up the middle and then have 5 infielders.
The first time I saw the shift, I think, was probably in the Women's College World Series, and they had shifted everybody over to that left side of the infield, or excuse me, to the right side of the infield against a lefty, knowing that she would
she gets hit.
Jam the hitters.
So a possibility for a couple on now here for Regina as Neibauer a single. She moves to second. Kleppe gets hit with a pitch, and now it's Gaffey. So Lexi Gaffey steps in from the right side with runners at first and second.
Trying to put together a little 2-out rally right now and try to make Grandview Christian have to match you with the bats.
And that one will miss outside for a ball to be 1 ball and no strikes to count. Regina wins and they will play for a state title. Grandview Christian plays these 2 teams. Will do it all over again at 4:45 later today. This one in the air to right field, and it's going to fall down for a base hit. It's going to score a run as the throw will come back into the first baseman. But it's an RBI single for Gaffey, and Regina back on the board.
Inside out pitch. Takes that thing out to right field. We talked yesterday a lot about situational hitting. A lot of times with 2 outs, you're just trying to get that ball in play, and she put that exactly where you'd want to put it. Almost snuck through. Might have had the chance even for an in-the-park home run with her speed.
Runners are at first and third now for Regina. They score again here in the second to take it 2-1 lead. And Armin Trout steps in, and Armin Trout sends one over to shortstop. Fire across the diamond. A good, strong throw from across the diamond by Vandersloot.
Off her back foot.
In time for out number 3. Regina gets 1, though. It's 2-1 Regals. After an inning and a half, we'll come back. Grandview Christian, the Thunder, bring the bats back to the plate. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Back here to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. We've been isolated here at the Class 2A field, but there has been a lot of things going on all around the complex, as you just mentioned a pretty big upset in Class 3A.
Yeah, with that, with the Van Meter taking out Albia. Albia came in, seated third. And Van Meter, I mean, they're always going to compete. Van Meter will, and they just, with Coach Flaws, they've figured it out and moving on to that semifinal series later today.
Yeah, they will play at 3:15 against Wahlert Catholic at Iowa Central Field. And then the top half of that bracket, Williamsburg, the 1 seed, went down to Mount Vernon earlier in the tournament. They beat PCM in a late one last night, 4-2. So it's Williamsburg and Mount Vernon getting ready to play one of what could be 2 games there in Class 3A. Off to our left-hand side in Class 1A today so far, as the first pitch is taken for a ball in Class 1A today. Fort Dodge St. Edmunds, they defeat Remsen St. Mary's 10-4. And now St. Ed's will have to take on Clarksville, who they lost to yesterday. And they will have to beat Clarksville twice today. This is line down the third base side. Top half of the bracket just getting ready to get going. The 8 seed Edgewood Colesburg playing with the hot pass there. They will take on Exira, EHK, and Audubon, with Edgewood Colesburg just needing to win 1, and EHK Audubon needing to win 2 in Class 1A.
I think that just started, I believe, yeah.
They're doing lineups right now, I believe.
Okay, there we go.
Ground ball to the right side. The thrower to first in time for the outs as Rosado is retired. Cruz will be up next. Cruz also has a home run in this tournament. And then followed by Beamer. That's 1, 2, 3. Might as well talk about the other 2 classes while we're on top of it. Fort Dodge defeats North Polk this morning. And so the Dodgers in to take on Carlisle, who they lost to yesterday. They will have to beat Carlisle twice. That one's fouled back. That game played at 2:45 today. Right now going on in the Class 4A field, ADM and Western Dubuque. And Western Dubuque needing to win 2 games after beating Burlington yesterday. ADM will need to just win 1 of those games. That game just getting started.
ADM has come to play. Like they've just made plays when they've needed to right now. That game against Western Dubuque.
Yeah, 6-5.
Quarterfinal, yeah, that was a epic finish, as the kids would say.
Yes. Yes, they sure would. And then off to our right-hand side, just to the right of us in Class 5A, we got Valley and Southeast Polk in a game right now, ground ball third base side. Valley and Southeast Polk, that game started at 11 o'clock today.
Yeah, I just checked, and Southeast Polk is up 9-6 right now as they head to the bottom of the 6th. Valley, the higher seed, is the home team, so they've got 2 more at-bats in that one, and the winner of that will play Centennial later this afternoon.
3:30 is the set for the Centennial and the winner of Southeast Polk and Valley. Ground ball right back at Neibauer, and she'll fire to first in time for out number 2 over at first base. Waukee Northwest, the number 1 seed, and they have won their games so far. They beat Pleasant Valley, Dallas Center Grimes, and now they play Dallas Center Grimes again in the next game, scheduled for 1:15. But as Andy mentioned, still 6 outs to go in that first 2A or 5A game, so unlikely to be a 1:15 start between Waukee Northwest and Dallas Center Grimes. So that takes you through the entire tournament. What's going on around Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex? We're in Class 2A here.
With the pitching in that DCG Northwest game, I imagine they could get that back on schedule pretty quickly. A couple of pitchers, not just best in the state, best in the country. A couple pitchers there, so that'll be pretty low scoring.
Yeah, the first time those 2 teams played, 5 runs scored in that one.
4 of them, the 4 for Northwest, were all in the first inning.
Yeah.
So that got him off to a fast start. Sophie Schlater, one of the, I think she is the top-ranked pitcher in the class of 28.
So good. Of course, what she did last year, that one is in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. This is Beamer here, the second baseman, batting for Grandview Christian. First 2, Rosado and Cruz retired. Beamer here in the 7 spot. Grandview Christian just down by a run, but Regina's been through the lineup a lot quicker. Still haven't even gone through the full Grandview Christian lineup, and we won't here in the second as well, as it's 1-2-3 for Neibauer and the Regals. We have completed 2 innings. It's 2-1 the lead in favor of the Regals. We'll come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau here in Class 2A at the Hy-Vee Field. Sarah Agostell, Andy Pollock with you here in the booth. Our entire team across all 5 fields here in Fort Dodge.
Pretty tough to find a hotel room in Fort Dodge this week. We've taken up a lot of them.
And it'll be Irwin who will lead things off, almost twice to the order here for the Regals. And so it goes 5, 6, and 7. Irwin, Davison, and Klein. This part of the order has been really good, too. We talked about Irwin with 3 hits. Davison's had a couple of big hits. Klein has a home run. This part of the order for Regina has been fantastic. 0-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. Vandersloos throw across. It is not in time. Vandersloos has also been really good. Played that one well, but just not quick enough to get Irwin across the bases.
Well, a ton of speed from Irwin as she motored down there to first base, and I don't think Vandersloos could have played that any better than what she did. Just couldn't quite get the out across the diamond. That out that Vandersloos made to end their last half inning off her back foot, I mean, we know she's got the strength to make that play. Just really fast runner there in Irwin. Irwin's got double-digit stolen bases this year. I wonder if they'll give her the green light here on Murphy, although Murphy's got a cannon, as we saw yesterday.
Murphy throws the ball really, really well. That's the danger, and especially with Davison at the plate, who has swung the bat so well. We'll see what Coach Kessler, of course, very experienced head coach for Iowa City Regina. She knows her team the best, and she'll know what to do, but Davison has swung the bat so well. And he's going to bunt it, and bunts it pretty well. Cox will fire to first in time for the out. Going to go first to third is Irwin, and she's safe. So that's the play that Coach Kessler decided to go with. Nearly got a couple of runners on there, as Davison wasn't too far off of pushing that one past the pitcher Cox, but she's able to get there in time for the putout.
That might have rolled all the way to the outfield. You might have been looking at that situation of forcing Pelham to make a play from center. Great recognition there on the part of Irwin as well to turn it into a foot race between her and Vandersloos over to third base.
So it makes it a runner at third base with one away. As Klein steps in, and that pitch is in there for a called strike. Klein, the designated player. 1 out, 0-1 count here. 2-1 the lead for Regina over Grandview Christian. As Erlin will step back into the box from the right side and await the pitch. And the pitch misses for a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike now the count.
Trying to work out of a little bit of a jam right now for Cox.
Cox the set, finds the sign she wants, and the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, third base side foul.
Klein trying that little swinging bunt. Saw it used effectively yesterday. I know it's not something you can do on purpose, but, man, if someone could figure out a technique to get that swinging bunt to work, they'd be able to make a lot of money off hitting lessons. That is a powerful way to get on base.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Cox trying to find the sign. We got a quick pause, and now time is called. I think they were checking on the count to make sure it was right. Not sure. Quick question down on the first base side. I believe they were checking on the count. We've got it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here is the 1 ball, 2 strike count. Popped up in the air. Back towards the back will not be playable. Instead, it's going to join our parade of other softballs that have accumulated on the fencing above us.
They told me there's a chute somewhere to get those down. I'm not sure where that is. Yeah, but somewhere to, like an opening that they would pull, and it comes down through some sort of chute that they've got, but I'm not sure where that is. I'll have to, obviously, they play a lot of games here, baseball and softball, so they do have a plan, but we've accumulated a mess of them up there.
The 1-2. This one in the air to right field. It's looking for a gap, and it will be caught out in right field. A fantastic play by the right fielder as Pelham pulls it down for, that's Jada Rogers out in right field, pulls it down for out number 1. The run will score. It'll be a sec.
Yeah, I thought that was a gapper, but
I thought so too, but Rogers got to it in a hurry. Takes a runner off the base pass, and it's now 3-1 Regina. On the sacrifice fly. And that pitch is in there for a called strike. This is Chloe Rogers. Jada Rogers with a fantastic running catch out in right field for Grandview Christian. And the pitch. And that one misses for a ball. Cox. The 1-0. And this one is lined down the first base side out of play.
You've seen Regina use that right side of the field very well to their advantage. A lot of production out that way, up to 6 hits already.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here is the 1-2 pitch. And that one's in the dirt for a ball, now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A run in here for Regina. They lead 3-1. Trying to restart things with the back half of the order. And the 8-hole hitter, Rogers. The set and the 2-2 offering is low for ball 3. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes the counts.
Murphy tried to get that framed, just a little bit low and inside yet for to be able to pull it back up into the zone.
Cox trying to get out of this half inning. The 3-2 is called. Third strike on the outside corner. A strikeout for Chloe Cox, her second of the ball game. And we will head to the bottom half of inning number 3 with Regina leading by a score of 3-1. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstones of our communities. That's why they are a proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state softball tournament. They believe that investing in our youth, they're investing in Iowa's future. As Iowa City Regina is hoping a state championship game is in their future, leading by a score of 3-1 over Grandview Christian, the bottom half of this third inning. And waiting on the Regina catcher, Chloe Rogers, as she was just up to bat, so she'll make her way out. Grandview Christian looking to find some runners on base here, Andy Pollock.
Yeah, just get a couple base runners on right now. Obviously, it's still anybody's game yet, but you've seen Nybauer work her way out of a couple things before. Grandview Christian, though, in this tournament, we've seen a couple crooked numbers put up throughout the course of their at-bats, so just looking to put a couple in play, see what happens.
You get some of that speed on the base pass. Grandview Christian has speed all up and down their lineup. First pitch missing for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Grandview Christian trying to flip the lineup. Karn over for the first time. Hot shot to third base. The throw across the diamond in time for the out. A fantastic play by Armin Trout over at third. Scoops it. Gets to her feet and fires it across the diamond.
What a play by Armin Trout. Kind of a look what I found as she reaches up and grabs that ball and has the presence of mind then to throw it all the way across the diamond. Get it there, and plays like that would help you move on to a championship game.
No doubt about that. And this one with line foul down the first base side. This is Jana Rogers. Rogers, the right fielder, made that fantastic running grab in the outfield earlier. And then we'll go to Vandersloot, top of the order, to flip the lineup card for the first time here for Grandview Christian in the bottom half of the third inning. The 0-1. That one's bunted right out in front of the plate. Can she beat it to the bag? She cannot. Played well by the other Rogers, Chloe Rogers, out in front as she fires it down to first base. Gaffey, the second baseman, covering there in time for the out.
Well, and there's a situation where you can't shift your defense ahead of time because the surprise bunt, and they handled it exactly how you should. Gaffey makes a really nice snag over there at first. That's almost a blind throw and catch. You don't see that ball coming. It's from directly behind the runner. Seen that a few times this tournament. Everybody's executed it very well.
Look at Nybauer out there. She's a second head coach. As she was redirecting the defense on where to stand, she's got a scouting report. She knows where each of these hitters likes to go with the softball. Of course, Vandersloot put one in that shallow corner last time. And before this at bat, Nybauer looks out into left field and puts the left fielder exactly where she wants her. As Vandersloot will try to bunt this one foul. Just the leadership having basically a head coach on the diamond with you with Nybauer.
Well, and she's had a couple older sisters that have played and learned watching them. A lot of times you get to that second, third, or fourth child, and they're the ones that have been able to go to hundreds of softball games growing up and have learned all different situations and, like you mentioned, really just become that coach on the field.
The 1-1 towards the shortstop, picked up, fired to first in time for the out. Had to be quick. It was quick by Kleppe for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Nybauer and the Regals. We have completed 3 here in Fort Dodge at Hy-Vee Field. It is the Regals of Iowa City 3. It is the Grandview Christian Thunder 1. We'll come back for inning number 4 next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/wecare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Welcome back here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company, as Chloe Cox steps back into the circle. You see her there. Regina trying to add on. They have put at least one run, or only one run up here so far in every inning, as they have one in each of the first three, now batting here in the fourth. As that pitch misses for ball two, it'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Cox with the pink ribbons in the hair today. There in the circle. Ground ball to the shortstop, Vandersloot. Strong throw across the diamond, and the scoop by Rosado over at first base in time for out number 1.
Our shortstops in this game getting a workout today, and a couple good ones. We've seen that from Vandersloot several times. That time kind of got caught on the short hop. I wondered for a second if she misplayed it, but she was able to adjust late, make the play, and throw it across the diamond.
Top of the order now with Lily Neibauer coming back to the plate for a third time. For first 2 times, she slapped it right back up the middle and has base hits. Ground ball to the right side, played by Cox to first, in time for the out. Cox playing it well out of the circle as Neibauer went to the right side this time and retired for the first time in the contest. First 2 away here quickly for Cox and Grandview Christian.
Dead hit off the bat, and really nice play coming over to make it was Beamer, as she had to charge in really quick and get rid of it really quick as well.
3-1 the lead in favor of Iowa City Regina. Here's the pitch by Cox. Ground ball to the right side again. It's a fair ball down the first base side. Rounding first and heading for second in there safely is Kleppe. Just got that one inside the first base bag. It's a double for Kleppe. Brought to you by Channel Seeds.
Kleppe got around on it, an inside pitch on top of it as they were trying to jam her, and got around on it right down the line. In fact, that thick grass out there killed it a little bit early in the season. That's probably a triple, as that rolls a lot harder. In fact, even over on Triton Field behind us on that artificial turf, that's probably a triple.
Now back-to-back innings. The last half inning, it felt like Grandview Christian gets a couple of outs right away. Feels like maybe it could be a quick 1-2-3 for Grandview Christian. Same now this time as they get a couple of outs, and now all of a sudden Regina's got a runner in scoring position trying to score for a 4th consecutive inning.
Yeah, they've not had that big outburst yet, but hey, it's a lot of runs that you put up if you put up 1 in every inning as they continue to work at that. Wouldn't really call them manufacturing runs either. They've just been able to push some across.
Ground ball towards the middle of the infield. It's off the hands of Vandersloot and into center field. Around to score is Kleppe. And just like that, again, it felt like Grandview Christian. Well, they're going to try to tag her. They didn't think she touched home, but now she comes back and touches home and scores.
And the umpire did point there finally when she came back and touched it. She was getting yelled at over there from Coach Kessler to get on the base, go back and touch the base.
So it did come back and score, so now it's 4-1. And again, it just felt like Grandview Christian was working towards a quick 1-2-3, and just like that, Regina scores again to make it now 4-1. This one to the right side. Vandersloot will have to make a strong throw in the hole, not in time. Goes with the fielder's choice option to second base. doesn't quite get there in time.
Right decision. She had no chance of getting the out at first. That was the right decision to try to get the out at second. And, just the hit parade really continues right now for Regina. They've, not a whole lot of extra bases. They just continue to work station to station. A lot of girls swinging bats, just putting in gaps, and made it really hard for Grandview Christian to defend.
Runners at first and second. Cox in the circle, getting set to face off against Harper Earring. The left fielder. Irwin so far in this contest, 1 for 1 today.
Looking at 9 hits right now for Iowa City Regina through 4 innings, and they only 4 runs, which, like I said, it's just a lot of singles.
2 for 2 for Irwin today on the left field. The throw over to first in time for the out. And Irwin will come back up to bat in the 5th, but Grandview Christian gets out of it again with just 1 Regina run scoring. They've scored in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and now the 4th. They lead 1-0 over Grandview Christian. We'll come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Looks like another perfect day to get out there and enjoy the summer.
Oh, before she gets in the car, it's easy to choose. B-E-R-F-E-C-T. B-E-R-F-E-C-T. Come on, baby, you look good on me. If you see what I can see,
Iowa State Fair, August 13th through the 23rd.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships here on Hy-Vee Field, the home of Class 2A up until the championship game. And we're trying to get our first champion team, first team to the championship. Iowa City Regina can get there by securing 9 more outs. But not going to go down without a fight is this Grandview Christian Thunder team. Murphy to lead things off. Murphy, Bird, and Cox. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Grandview Christian. And
seen a lot of line drives from Murphy in this tournament that just seem to find the defender, though. She's hit the ball very hard. If she can sneak one past the infielders at some point here, I think she's going to find herself with an extra base hit.
The 1-0 pitch now, left side. Oh, what a diving attempt, nearly made by the third baseman, Armin Trout. That was in the glove and then out. A fantastic effort from Armin Trout.
Yeah, we've seen her make some of those plays before. This one a little bit different, though, as she's got to reach across her body to make it in foul territory. Again, good solid contact from Murphy.
1 ball and 1 strike the count. Murphy 0 for 1 today, ground out in her first appearance at the plates. That pitch missing for a ball, now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Multiple occasions we've seen Rogers get into the full splits back there to pick a ball out of the dirt. Incredible agility out of her.
The 2-1. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Picked up, fired to first in time for the outs. Another fantastic play by Kleppe at short. Has just been a rock defensively.
Yep, we've seen a lot of good plays over in that 6 hole. Kleppe, one of them in the Class 2A, but as you look up and down, some of the shortstop play that we've seen this week have been just as good as anything we've ever seen here before. Keep hearing a lot of cheering from the 1A field behind us.
That was
peek back over my shoulder at some point and see what's going on.
I don't think that was quite cheering.
Oh, that might not have been cheering. Okay, all right. I hear a lot of yelling, we'll put it that way. Yeah. Certainly you don't think someone would be upset with a call at some point, do you?
I think That's where that was at. No balls and 1 strike to count. Here's the set and the 1-2 on Bird, batting here from the right side. Bird, the third baseman. 0 for 1, also a ground out today. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch from Neibauer. It comes inside on Bird. And she holds her ground inside. But misses around the inside corner. It is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Neibauer quietly putting together a very, very dominating performance so far. Just really limited the opportunities for Grandview Christian on the base paths. Only 1 strikeout, which, you know, when you're talking about a game with only 1 base runner so far, you think that might be more than that, but she has done a great job of keeping them off the bases.
3 balls, 1 strike. There's 1 away here in the bottom half of inning number 4. Here's the pitch from Neibauer, and it is going to be in there for called strike 2. Now it's full to Bird. Neibauer credited for 1 strikeout so far in this one. She's another one on that list. We were talking, if you joined us for earlier games, we talked about there's 3 young ladies in the top 10 in strikeouts in Class 2A this season. That's to the right side. A play in the hole by Kleppe, and it is not picked at first. Now on the way to second, and diving in there safely is Bird. Kleppe, what a play in the hole. Just couldn't quite get it gathered over at first base.
Yeah, and almost even better play to dig it out of the dirt over at first base. There with Noller. But just watching as Bird rounded first, she was not slowing down at all. The second that ball was not caught, I'm not even sure she knew if it wasn't caught. She was rounding immediately, heading to second.
So they're going to go hit and then air to move her to second base. Second hit of the game. This one's lined right back up the middle. And over to third goes Bird. Bird held up for a second to see if that ball was going to be caught or not. Didn't leave second base right away. And does not come around to score on that ball that was hit sharply. But now runners at first and second here for Grandview Christian with just 1 away. And the first baseman, Rosado, steps in.
Well, and give a lot of credit to Davison from keeping that run from scoring. She got that ball in a hurry. Kept the runners to moving just 1 base. But right now you're looking at Grandview Christian possibly putting together a pretty nice inning here.
Lydia Larwick will come in as the courtesy runner over at first base for Cox, the pitcher. So courtesy runner over at first. Runners are at first and third. 1 away. Grandview Christian trying to dig themselves closer here. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Neibauer comes right back with a fastball. A lot of confidence in her pitch.
Rosado is 0 for 1 so far today. A ground out in her first appearance. A ground out, Barnett being a double play to the right side. Could score a run here. Instead, she goes to the left side. They're going to try to tag. Here comes the throw from left field. It's cut off, and the run scores. A sac fly from Rosado. As Coach DeMolinaire is watching that one, waiting to send her runner. As soon as first contact, she's hitting and going.
I think they had a chance to get her at home. They cut it off. I think if they communicate on the infield and let that ball get through, there's a chance for a play at the plate. Kind of a longer shot, but that throw was coming in right on the money.
Irwin did get it quickly, and she did have a strong throw from left field, but cut off instead by Armtrout.
That's just one of those things where you're going to cut it off, and you need some communication from behind you to let it know to come on through. But exactly what you want to do out in left field, throw it at the head of your cutoff man, and if the ball gets through, it gets through.
A ground ball right back up the middle. It'll be a base hit. Runner will stay at second. And now I actually kind of like the cutoff now, because if you don't cut it off before, that runner's at second, possibly scoring on that base hit up the middle.
It ends up working out for them right now in this situation, so they We talked about it, though. Nice inning shaping up here right now as they're going to try to finish it off, though, with a couple more runs. So after not many hits, just one base runner allowed through those first several innings. Now all of a sudden you're back to 2 hits this inning and an error, and just like that, you've got Grandview Christian right back in striking distance.
Brooker, the flex, will come in and run for the designated player. Cruz over at first base. Runners at first and second. Beamer, the batter, ground ball left side of the infield. They're going to go to first in time for out number 3. 2 stranded for Grandview Christian, but they get one more across the board. It is 4-2. We've got a good one here in Class 2A. Come back with us as we get set for the 5th inning next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the digital network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. We roll on to the top half of the 5th inning. Regina has scored a run in every single inning so far to lead 4-2, 4 complete innings thus far, and that one's outside for a ball. The last 2 innings, I mentioned it the last half, the last 2 innings, Grandview Christian has got a couple of outs. Feels like it could be a quick defensive half inning for them, and then Regina just comes in and finds a way to manufacture a run.
Well, and Regina just consistent hitters. You know, they're getting production all the way through the entire lineup right now, and, you know, putting up 1 run every single inning. That's the difference right now.
1 ball and 1 strike is the count.
They've left 6 on base, too, through 4 innings, so there's been some other opportunities out there.
Chloe Cox in the circle. The pitch, and that's going to miss high for a ball, as it looked like Irwin was going to maybe lay down the bunt there.
Well, she was thinking about it. That right side is back at their normal depth right now. If she can push one over that direction, she's got a chance for an infield hit.
2 for 2 days so far for Irwin. She was at the plate with the runner getting thrown out at first base in the last half inning, so she comes back up here to start. The 2-1 pitch, third base side. Is it fair? Is it foul? It's foul.
Oh, that did not miss by much. Right on top of it, though, was Jeff Nyhaus. He was watching that ball like a hawk. That was within inches.
And it would have been extra bases for Irwin. Her 2 hits so far today have been singles. Single. A 2-2 count. With the foul ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The set by Cox and the 2-2 pitch in the air to the right side. Beamer will play it in shallow right field for out number 1 as Beamer goes back on it into the shallow grass to make the play.
Yeah, I thought there was more on that initially. I thought she was just running back to try to get the ball off the ground, but she obviously had a really nice view of it and makes the play for out number 1. They've got those first couple outs. We've talked about it before. It's just getting that third out before Regina can get a couple base runners on and get their run each inning.
That pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Getting in there on Davison. As Davison will step back in here, trying to start things the back half of the order for Iowa City Regina. Here is the 0-1 pitch, and this one's a ground ball, third base side, scooped up and fired to first in time for out number 2. Played well there by Sophia Bird.
Making some plays around the infield right now, and you just finish out this inning right now and get back to the bats.
Now that's cheering.
That's cheering, yes. We definitely caught some cheering from over there. I was going to check, see what those scores are right now.
The designated player, Klein, steps in. Again, a couple of outs early, and again one roped down into center field, but a catch is made. The center fielder, Morgan Pella, makes a nice play in center to finally retire Regina. 1-2-3. Grandview Christian gets the 1-2-3 inning they've been looking for. They'll bring the bats back up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 4-2. The Regals pacing this one. We'll come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Life's buzzing with energy. From the delightfully routine, to the novel and exciting, to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge, Hy-Vee Field. You see the Regals there in the circle getting set to break away. Back to their positions, and there is Lily Neibauer, who has had herself a fantastic career so far in the circle for Iowa City. Regina trying to lead her team to the state championship game.
If they can figure out a way right now for Grandview Christian to get Pelham or Rogers on, you get back to the top of the order, and you're looking at Vandersloot, Murphy, and Bird. This is a great opportunity for a big inning for them. They got to get one of these first 2 base runners on, though.
As that one's fouled to the right side. 9 outs needed for Regina here in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. One ball and 1 strike, the count. Here's Pelham, who just made that play out in center field. Now batting from the right side. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up for Grandview Christian, and it's going to be a base hit to lead things off in the 8th spot, and that's exactly what you were just talking about, Andy. You get the 8-hole hitter on, and now you got 9-1.
Yeah, you get a chance for Rogers to sacrifice her over and then get up with Vandersloot, who we know can put a charge into the ball. You have a lot of options then with a runner on second and get it back to your lefty.
So this will be Jada Rogers. First hit of the ball game for Pelham a moment ago. She was 0 for 1 on the day, and now this is to the right side. And everybody is going to be safe as the ball is bobbled. They did not go with the sacrifice. It nearly was about the same result as a sacrifice, but instead everybody is safe as an error will be charged to Gaffey on the right side.
Well, the initial ball, I thought it could have been fielded right away, nowhere, but it was spinning away from her, and then Gaffey was trying to run and make the play, picking it off the ground, made it really tough on her. And so I'm not sure who they actually charged that error to. They both had a chance at it, but now Grandview Christian in business.
Top of the order for Grandview Christian with runners at first and second. And the first pitch will miss for a ball. Neibauer is going to have to work her magic here to try to work out of things. They're going to check the swing Third base umpire says no swing, so it will be ball one.
Well, Vandersloot, this is not, I wouldn't call this a sacrifice bunt situation. She's trying to bunt to get down to first base. Everybody very deep, actually, around the infield, too.
Trying to load the bases. The throw to first is in time, so it will just move the runners to second and third, but she was absolutely trying to beat that one out, but just a little bit too hard as she pushed that one up to third base.
Really nice play by Armentrout. She could have let it go foul, but knew she could get the out and made a great play over there from her third base spot. Smooth in rhythm.
And now it's Maya Murphy. Murphy has had herself a pretty good week here in Fort Dodge thus far, has been directing things behind the plate for Grandview Christian, now trying to bring them within one or possibly tie the game with a runner at second base.
No mention she's had some really strong contacts in this tournament, just kind of keeps finding a defender right now. If she can keep something on that right side, actually anything in the infield right now, the way she hits, you're probably looking at getting a next run across.
Only one out, so even a fly ball should score a run unless it's short. Instead, it's ripped right back up the middle. It's going to score one. They're going to try to tie the game. Here comes the throw. No, there's no throw. And Murphy has tied the game with a 2 RBI single right back up the middle.
You just kind of had the feeling that Maya Murphy was due. As hard as she's been hitting the ball right at people that time, she finds a gap, sends 2 through, and ties it up. Just a bell-tie fastball, return to center.
And we are tied. The first team to score more than one run in a half inning belongs to the Thunder and Grandview Christian. As they scored 2, they've scored 3 runs to just one by Iowa City Regina in the last 2 innings. In the air to right field and played by the second baseman. Gaffey will come out and play it in shallow right field for out number 2. And now Regina trying to get out of this with just a tie game. And the batter is Cox, the pitcher, with a runner over at first base. Pitch is in the dirt for a ball. It'll be 1 ball and no strikes.
Sun making an appearance here today. It's been in and out, but this is the longest we've had it out today. It looks a lot hotter on the screen than what it actually is outside. It is an absolutely gorgeous day.
It is gorgeous.
Heat not a factor. It's dry.
The 1-0. And that one outside for ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, even looking out the windows of the press box, it looks like it's steaming hot outside, but you know the fans outside are enjoying the cool, calm elements, enjoying some high school softball. Is there a better few days of the summer? There is not. And being here in Fort Dodge, you can catch a game just about every minute of the day.
2 or 3 games at a time always going on. In fact, at this exact moment, I think we've got 5. No, we take that back. 5A's warming up. So we've got 4 games going on at this exact moment.
4 games in action. The 3-0 pitch does find the strike zone. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike here on Cox. The Thunder have put a couple of runs in. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. This one in the air to right field. That could find a gap. That could find the bleachers.
Ooh.
It does. See you later.
And it hit somebody in the head as it cleared the fence. Oh, boy.
Chloe Cox will touch them all. A 4-baser for Cox. And just like that, Grandview Christian is out on top.
Wow, it was absolutely crushed, and a fan that was trying to get away got sniped right in the back of the head and is dropped there behind the outfield. Oh, boy.
Oh, man, an exciting moment has now turned slightly to the other side as you saw one of the Fort Dodge police officers running in, obviously radioing to medical out there in right center field. Hopefully that fan is okay.
But, man,
And
what a swing. That ball, no doubt about it. The Grandview Christian fans knew it right away as it was released off the bat.
I think we're going to have a quick pause, of course. Coach Kessler is out there talking to her pitcher in Neibauer, but also making sure that fan is okay out in right center field. I was watching the ball and the home run. I didn't even see that part of it.
I just saw a fan turn and try to get out of the way of it coming at her, and it hit her right in the head. Looked like right in the back of the head.
That's too bad. Hopefully everything will be okay out there, but Grandview Christian has put up 4 runs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning and now leads 6-4 as Chloe Cox goes yard. And that one got out in a hurry. Cox crushed that softball. Cox had 5 home runs coming into the state tournament. This one's in the air to center field, and it will get down to second base. The tag is not in time.
Wow, great recognition on the base running that nobody's there because the initial path of the hit took everybody out in that left center spot. Trying to get over there and cover things there for Regina was Gaffey, but just not in time, turned it into a foot race.
Davison went backwards first and then found herself too far back, tried to run up and make the play, and it was in and out of the glove in center field. Getting to second base is Rosado. And now with 2 outs, Grandview Christian trying to see how many runs they can pour in. Stepping into the box is Cruz, and that gets away from Rogers behind the plate. Rosado's going to get the third now on a wild pitch. One ball and no strikes to count. Cruz has gone yard in this tournament already for Grandview Christian. And now for Iowa City, Regina just trying to get out of this. Annie is that one outside for a ball, just looking for an out anywhere they can get it. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, this inning, and it started off when you get that 8 and 9 batter on. I mean, that's playing with house money at that point, and they have absolutely capitalized on it.
The 2-0 pitch is in the dirt for a ball now. 3 balls and no strikes on the DP Cruz. As she'll step back in. Neibauer looking at the wrist card to find the pitch that she wants to throw. The 3-0 is going to be strike 1 of this at bat. 3 balls and 1 strike now the counts. Here on Cruz, batting from the right side, runner at third base. Grandview Christian trying to add on to what has already been a 4-run inning to take the lead for the first time in this ball game.
Keep in mind, Grandview Christian finishes this out. They're going to have to turn around and play here in a couple hours again against Regina in this double elimination format.
That'll be ball 4. And we'll see if they decide to lift Cruz for a second time. No, they won't. Remember, the last time they played, they lifted Cruz in her first 2 at-bats.
They needed to get a batter in to get her first at-bat of the season.
They sure did. You saw right away Coach DeMolinaire over there at third base immediately saying, stay, you're going to stay.
Well, you're looking at 7 more outs to be had, so there's a good chance she gets back up again. So you want to play for the opportunity just in case you need to win the game in the 7th. Give her a chance to come back up to the plate. I just glanced out to the outfield. It looks like that fan is up walking around, so that's good news there.
Great sign. Looks like maybe a young fan, too.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Ground ball, third base, or to the shortstop side across the diamond in time for out number 3 as Kleppe able to get it over to first in time for the out. But Grandview Christian has come thundering back. They lead 6-4. We'll go to the 6th. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family. Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Back here to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships are presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We're at the Hy-Vee Field, and Grandview Christian has come all the way back to lead now 6-4. And now if you're Grandview Christian, things have flipped. Instead of thinking we only have 9 outs left in this game to score runs, now you're thinking on the flip side that you only need 6 more outs to win this softball game and get to a 4:45 showdown with Iowa City Regina again.
Yep, things change a little bit right now on the attack, and they've had an opportunity right now, does Regina, to do exactly what Grandview Christian did the last inning. You're looking at your 8 and 9 batters, and you get a couple of them on, and just like that, you're back to that top of the order who's done a lot of damage so far today. Just the consistent hitting of Regina today, but it's that one big inning that Grandview Christian has put across the board, and that's why we sit at 6-4 right now.
First pitch misses for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes, the count. And that pitch misses inside for a ball, now 1-0. One ball, no strikes. The set and the pitch. That's just the right side. That's a base hit. So if you're Regina, and now the ball gets away, going to second base and holding up at first was Rogers. Rogers just goes with it to the right side.
Big turn, though, on the base. Almost ran herself out of it. Actually might have been safe because Murphy was trying to get that throw in and mishandled it. But, yeah, that was go right with a pitch, did exactly what she needed to do, and now Regina trying to do the same thing that Grandview Christian did in the last inning. Just looking at the scoring across the board right now, Regina with a run, 1 run in each of the first 4 innings. Grandview Christian with a run in the first and a run in the fourth, and then that big 4-run 5th inning.
They will run for the catcher, Rogers, over at first base.
We have seen multiple times throughout the year that in a situation like this, that Grandview Christian has gone to Epperly Weitzel to close things out, but right now I think if you can get the remainder of the game out of Cox, you have to do that.
Yeah.
And then you save Weitzel for that game later today, because if they win this, no doubt that Neibauer will go back and be the pitcher in that later game.
It gets away. It'll be a wild pitch. That's a courtesy runner, Lucy White. Number 8 that's in for Rogers. And so White's going to get to second base on a wild pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. And now Iowa City Regina with a runner in scoring position. They're trying to answer back with some runs of their own after a 4-run Grandview Christian half inning.
They're trying to shift the momentum here.
That one's in the dirt for a ball now. 2 balls and no strikes, the count. So far today, 2 strikeouts, 10 hits, given up 1 walk, and 5 earned runs from Chloe Cox in the circle.
You got to think about the possibilities for Regina right now if you get Neibauer up here with a couple base runners on.
The 2-0. Left side, and it's off of the glove and into left field. And going to second base and taking second base is Maggie White.
Well, the hot shot over there to the hot corner, not able to come up with it. And now Regina flipping the script, and you get back to the top of your order.
I think they're going to go to Weitzel now.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't go to her to start the half inning.
Looks like Weitzel is out of the dugout, and it appears that she's going to come in and pitch here for Grandview Christian with runners here at second and third base. That one just scoops over the glove of Bird at third base, and then nobody plays it quick enough to get it back in over at second base, and Maggie White says, here, I'm just going to take second if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, right now you're putting in Epperly Weitzel. This is a tough situation for the 8th grader to come in as you've got the tying run at second base at the moment. Nobody out. And Weitzel, though, I mean, she's got 7 saves on the year. She's in 23 appearances. This is her 24th.
Rosado is going to go to the outfield. Yesterday, Rosado came in to catch, so they're going to make a different change. Yesterday, when they made this switch, Rosado came in to catch, and that puts Murphy out into the outfield. Instead, they're going to keep Murphy behind the plate. Rosado is going to go to the outfield.
I think a lot of that has to do with just the situation that the game's in right now with Murphy already being at that catcher spot. You'd have to switch a lot of people around to get equipment changed out, and in the interest of, well, I know they want to get everybody exactly where they need to be, but I think right now you stick with Murphy there at your catcher spot, especially with a bunting hitter, a possibility of the speed of Neibauer getting on the bases soon. You want Murphy's arm there behind the plate.
And so I believe that'll send Rosado to left field. Yeah, so Rosado goes to left.
The lefty out there.
That was Brooker. Brooker was in left. She was the flex player. And that goes to, and now Rosado, the first baseman, goes to left. And I did not see who is playing. That would be the only difference. Cox, excuse me. So yes, Cox goes to first. That's the change. So the pitcher Cox goes to first base. The first baseman Rosado goes to left field. And then they bring in Weitzel off the bench into the flex spot to pitch.
Well, and I think in the next inning you'll probably see Rosado go back to behind the plate. I think she's the one that catches Weitzel primarily.
So that's the change for now for Grandview Christian. Runners are at second and third. And the bunt will get laid down, but it's bunted foul by Neibauer.
Infield all the way in.
Lead by 2. So that run at third is important, but it's not the.
Yeah, that's I know.
Not a crucial
you
run.
wonder about that, but also I think you're looking at with nobody out. I think if you're looking at 1 or 2 outs, I think you can play normal depth and get the out. But with nobody out, got to try to prevent the run.
No balls and 1 strike. Neibauer has slapped a couple through the middle of the infield so far today. She swings and misses at this one. Her first 2 at-bats were both slaps up the middle into center field. She was retired her last time to the plate.
Great location. Weitzel trying to jam her up.
No balls and 2 strikes. Obviously, strikeout is best case scenario for Weitzel. Base hit for Neibauer is what she's looking for. That one's out of play and will land into the stands.
It's got to be about the only spot that there's not a net over top of here.
And a young man has just earned himself a sucker, as he's going to return that ball to the concession stand right underneath us. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball now, 1-2.
Good spot there for Weitzel trying to induce the swing.
One ball, 2 strikes. Weitzel is set the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. It's knocked down by Beamer, and she tries to go home with it as the runner had already passed. So Lucy White will score. Everybody is safe, and a run is in for Regina. It's now 6-5.
Well, and that's the tough part about the infield in. You're at normal depth right there. That's a routine play, but instead Beamer forced to make a diving attempt at it. And just like that, now Regina looking to put up a pretty crooked number this inning.
So everybody is safe. Regina moves the runner to third base. They have runners at first and third with nobody out, and Kleppe will step in. Kleppe has had herself quite the day at shortstop today. Neibauer's third hit of the game, all singles. And this one is lined foul down the third base side, so a 3-for-4 day for Neibauer.
Boy, what a game of momentum that we've seen right now. Is back and forth. A big inning from Grandview Christian there in the bottom of the 5th, and now Regina coming back with potential for a big inning here in the top of the 6th.
1-for-2 day thus far for Kleppe in the box. This one is also fouled out of play. Kleppe was called out of the box her first at-bat. She was hit by a pitch, and she doubled her last at-bat. With good speed over at first base, a double here could be a run in, depending on where it's at. It will score at least 1. if Kleppe is able to do that again. Right now she's down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's in the air again, out of play and foul.
Working that left side of the field. This is a situation you'd love to have a righty up to push something to the right side, but that lineup, it's a little bit of a risk that you have with a bunch of lefties in, but you're not thinking of this situation in particular when you've got slappers in the lineup.
No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch is in the air towards left field, looking for a gap. It will find a gap. It's going to score 1. Neibauer on her way to third. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. It's a second straight double for Kleppe. We're tied at 6, and Regina has 2 more in scoring position.
Well, I eat my words because I said you want to get that to the right side, but if you can find that gap, you're in great shape hitting it anywhere. And I think she cleared that whole outfield. They had scooted their way in, as a lot of times do against that slap-style hitter, and she got all of it to push it out to left center field.
So a double for Kleppe. She has had a great day. She's been outstanding at shortstop defensively, and now she has 2 Channel Seed doubles in this contest. All of our extra base hits in this tournament are brought to you by Channel Seeds. Thanks to our friends at Channel Seeds for sponsoring our extra base hits in this tournament. The Enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you level up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise.
Look at the inning that Regina is putting together right now. I mean, still nobody out. Runners in scoring position, working your way through the order. Started with the 8-hitter.
This one's in the air and fouled back to the backstop.
I feel like in these games, the top part of the orders kind of cancel each other out, and it's who can get the most production out of the bottom half of their order. And so far, both these teams have, and that's why we're sitting in a tied game.
Edgewood-Colesburg is just an inning away from the 8 seed sweeping their way through the bracket to the championship. That's going to get past Murphy. Here comes the throw home. It's not in time, and Regina is back out on top 7-6.
You just keep chopping away. Eventually things crack, and now they're going to look to have to score some more runs. And they're swinging the bat with confidence right now on Neibauer, too. Grandview Christian is when they get to their half of the inning. So this game is far from over. They're still, we've still got another 12 outs to have to get recorded in this game, and outs are hard to come by lately.
So after the wild pitch, a 1-1 count and a swing and a miss from Gaffey, the second baseman. Makes it now 1 ball and 2 strikes, and for Grandview Christian, they're just looking for an out at this point. 3 runs have come across, still nobody out. Runner at third base for Regina. The 1-2 in the air to the right side. It's fouled back to the netting.
Yeah, you still got to get through Gaffey here, Armentrout, and Irwin.
And then Davison.
And then Davison, too. Yeah, and then you're right back to where you started. So.
1 ball and 2 strikes, the pitch. In the air. Could be playable, or is it going to get to the net? It's going to get to the net.
Ooh. Solid contact with the roof.
But hopefully they have IMT insurance.
Somebody does up here.
1 ball and 2 strikes, the counts.
Don't get many substitutions. Got to get them in as often as we can.
No doubt. That one in the dirt for a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count, thanks to our friends at IMT. Be worry-free with IMT and IMT INS. We've had a few courtesy runners and pinch runners in this game thus far.
On our second pitcher for Grandview Christian.
Absolutely. 2-2. This one's in the air to the left side. It could be trouble. No, the catch is going to be made. Did she tag at third? That's going to be the question. Murphy's going to check, and she did not tag. It's a double play. I did not think so. That's why I immediately said that. I did not believe she did. And heads-up play by Murphy behind the plate, immediately going back to third to touch on third base.
Well, and I think Kleppe thought that the ball was going to land, and that's why she took off. And it was close. It was very close, but ultimately they're going to call her for leaving early.
So it will be a double play, a fantastic play in the hole by the shortstop. Vandersloot makes the catch. And then Murphy heads up from behind the plate, throws it to third and gets the double play, popped up in the air and out of play. Coming back to this one, I've got it. No balls and 1 strike the count. The old-fashioned 6-2-5 double play.
Yeah, the old-fashioned, just like you draw it up.
No balls and 2 strike. Well, no balls and 1 strike. That one's in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the count. And for Grandview Christian, if you get out of this down by 1, you feel
really good.
You were in some trouble at one point with runners on and everybody getting on, nobody getting out. That one is lined out into left field. That's a base hit. That would have been a run scored. Instead, just a runner at first. Did Edgewood Colesburg just finish it? They're cheering over there.
Just looking back at the replay of that diving catch, I think if we had a replay, they probably would have given her the run because I think that she timed it up pretty well on the dive, but not going to be able to go back and change anything now.
Runner over at first base. And there's a swing and a miss. A pick back up first. Oh, it hits off the umpire, and it's into right field. And safe over at second base is Armentrout. That ball went out of the glove of Cox, the first baseman, off the shoulder of our first base umpire, and out into right field.
Cam Cooksey took a shot.
And, of course, the other umpires.
They look out for each other.
Yep. Saying, you okay? Everybody gives a thumbs up. Everybody's okay. We're ready to go.
And I promise you he will hear about it later. These umpires like to give each other a lot of flack for stuff like that.
Edgewood Colesburg scoring another run. That was the cheering we heard just a moment ago.
Seed? Wow.
They lead.
Unscathed to the championship.
They lead 2-0.
Oh, I thought you said they finished. Okay, gotcha.
No,
I thought they.
I was wondering if they did. They have not yet. They just scored another run. They lead in the top half. In the top half of that 6th inning, so they're still in the 6th. They're across the way. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. So 2-0 Edco, leading over Exira EHK Audubon. Top half of the 6th inning, as yes, 2 teams here that are trying to be the first 2 to sweep their way to the championship, and you've got 2 teams on the other side that are trying to force extra games in the semifinals, the 0-1.
Well, Edco became my favorite team in the tournament when one of their fans showed up with some Edgewood Locker brats for me yesterday, so that's an easy way to my heart. Of course, I don't get to call their games anymore at this point, but I will remember that down the road, Edco. Thank you.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This one in the air towards center field. And the ball will not be caught. It's going to get down. It hung up there for a long time. Didn't know if it was going to be Vandersloot from shortstop or the center fielder Pelham to get there. Neither of them get there. And another run across the board here for Regina.
Well, they all end up kind of looking at each other, but then what you also had on top of it is you had 5 girls standing out in center field, no one left to cover second, so an easy way to swipe second base there as well. Wow, what a couple big innings we've had here.
Each team has scored 4 in their last halves. And they're going to check the swing, and she did go around.
I agree with that. I was pretty sure she did as well. I think what I'm thinking ahead here, and obviously the coaches are not thinking ahead. Both of them want to win this game, but neither team wants to get this to tonight. Can you imagine seeing the same pitching right now that they've seen all day, what that could look like? I mean, they put up 15 runs just in this game alone already with 10 more outs yet to record. Can you imagine what that might look like tonight with these hitters very comfortable with this pitching?
Inside on that one, it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes the counts. Runner at second base. Regina with, that one's in the dirt for a ball. 8-6, yep, 4 runs in here in the top half of the 6th inning. 8-6 the lead, a 2-run lead for Regina. And this one's fouled back to the backstop. Just getting a piece of that one is Davison. Davison, the center fielder. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. So a 2-2 count, 2 outs, runner at second base, and an 8-6 lead. Here's the pitch. This one is lined out into left field. It's going to go foul. And we'll stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base. Regina's put up 4. Try to add more. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Weitzel gets the strikeout, and we'll head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's an 8-6 lead for Regina. Both teams score 4 in their respective half innings. Bottom of the 6th is next. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Ready? Let's go.
Mom, over here. Yeah, this kind of thing can happen when you're hiking, but no worries, Mom. I can prescribe something to soothe the itch.
Unity Point Health looks at your family's health from your point of view, offering same-day appointments with expertise focused on what matters most to you. Unity Point Health. Expert care focused on you.
Back here to Fort Dodge. You see the celebration there in the middle of the infield for Regina. They put up 4 runs in the top half of the 6th inning. And now the Thunder back to bat here, Randy Pollock.
Yeah, Thunder is, they got it started with the lower part of their order the last inning, and to try to do the same thing here is put together another big one.
8-6. Regina wins. They will play for a state title tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
It was Pelham that got it started in the last inning, and she'll lead things off again now as you see some fans working on their tan in the outfield on a nice cool day.
Grandview Christian wins. Will play again at 4:45 this afternoon.
I would imagine that game will not be starting on time as we look at where things are right now.
The next game, Wapsie Valley and Logan Magnolia, scheduled for a 2:30 start this afternoon.
If you're coming here expecting to see that, I would guess closer to 2:45 as of now, but maybe even a little bit later, so they got to get the field ready in between.
This one is lined foul down the right side. No balls and 1 strike the counts. As Grandview Christian trying to restart things here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. That one's in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Pelham the batter, center fielder. 8-9-1. As Edco adds another run, they now lead 3-0 in that one. Pitch low in the dirt.
Well, the Thunder know they're going to get a chance to go back through the top part of their order. The problem is right now you want to be able to do it with less than 2 outs, and you got to get that 8 or 9 runner on by whatever means necessary.
And that one misses. 8-9, 1-2 up this time here for Grandview Christian. Pelham, Rogers, and then Vandersloot. The set and the pitch into right field, and it is a fair ball down the right field line. Pelham is on again. When they've needed some clutch hits in the bottom part of the order, they have got it. And Morgan Pelham, the center fielder, back-to-back singles. She's aboard.
Pelham has absolutely been clutch today as they've needed her down through the stretch towards the end of the game. And, nothing fancy about the hit, just a little flare out into right, almost identical to the way that she got on base there in the bottom part of the 5th.
And so that will bring Jada Rogers to the plate. And that one is off to the side, and Pelham is on her way to second base. So now don't even have to lay one down to move her over. Now something to the right side moves her to third base. 1-0 the count on the wild pitch, and the runner moves to second base. We'll see what Rogers decides to do. Ground out reach on an error her last time up. The 1-0. And she swings away on that one and fouls it off to the right side. Over and just behind the Logan Magnolia team that's watching on this one. They know they'll have to play again next. One ball and one strike, the current count. Here's the pitch. And this one is lined into left field. That'll be a base hit. So 8 and 9 get aboard for Grandview Christian. And now they've got runners at first and third. Nobody out in Vandersloot. At the top of the order is up.
Yeah, it's the bottom part of the order, though, producing. And it's like trading blows once again in a heavyweight fight. These teams just shot after shot after shot. Who's going to get the chance to deliver the knockout here?
8-6, the current lead for Regina. But a threat here by the Thunder. Pitch is in the dirt. Runner will get to second base. They're going to have two in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom half of the sixth inning.
And that's tough because you just got to let her go. You don't want to give up that other run again, especially with nobody out.
Vandersloot a double her first time out. She grounded out and a sacrifice bunt in the last half inning that was part of that 4-run inning. And they're going to pick back over at third base, not in time. Pelham will slide back in safely. Pitch will miss for a ball.
Closer play than I thought initially we were going to get. An absolute rocket from Rogers down there, down the line. Almost put it right on the base runner. Easy. It's a much easier throw right now with a lefty up to the plate, too.
Right. 2-0. And that one, Vandersloot getting out of the way of it. It's 3-0 to Vandersloot. As she was going to try to put that one down. They're going to check her swing. She did not go. And so will be 3 balls and no strikes the count. Runners are at second and third. Neibauer will find the sign of the pitch she wants.
Neibauer's thrown a lot of pitches over these 3 days.
That she has.
Trying to avoid having to throw another game's worth tonight.
The 3-0. And that one is in there for a called strike, now 3-1. You knew Vandersloot probably not putting that one down on 3-0, but at least making an attempt at it, hoping to get ball 4. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. Vandersloot 1 for 2 so far today, and the 3-1 pitch is going to be put down the third base side. They're going to come home. Is it in time? It is. Vandersloot is going to get to second base. Nobody was keeping an eye on her, so Vandersloot will get to second. And the throw home is in time. A good play down the third base line by Armentrout. Gets it to Rogers, and Rogers applies the tag.
Oh, the bang, bang at home doesn't work out in Grandview Christian's favor, but we get Murphy back up to the plate right now, who I like up in this situation for them. But I thought Armentrout had a chance to apply the tag on the way home anyway. Might have been able to keep runners at first and third.
And Rogers there did not see a throw down to a second base.
Yeah, did not have time to do it. I mean, everything, it was all happened during the course of the tail end of the play, so they didn't have a chance at all to make that play as Vandersloot just able to make her way there.
So same situation. Runners are at second and third, but now there's 1 out. Murphy's got a no ball and 1 strike counts. Murphy trying to be a hero here to try to put her team back out in front. She pops one up to the first base side. The catch is made. The throw comes home and nearly gets past Rogers behind the plate, but Rogers does a good job of keeping it in front. And now if you're Iowa City Regina, man, oh man, Andy Pollock, you have a chance to get out of this. There was second and third with nobody out, and now there's 2 away.
Chance to dodge a huge bullet right now for the Regals, and on top of that, then you're looking at getting down a little bit further in the order as well when Grandview Christian has to come up to the plate in the 7th. That was a great stop, though, by Rogers at home. Wow. I think it might have caught her wrist.
And this one is deep out into center field. It is hit well. Back at the wall, and you can kiss it goodbye. It doesn't matter anymore. It's a 3-run home run. Sophie Bird sends this one out of here.
Sophie Bird is the word with her 7th home run of the season. None bigger than that one, keeping Grandview Christian's hopes alive in this double elimination tournament.
And now Grandview Christian out in front. And the Thunder would like to add more runs, but now they know they can come to the top half of the 7th. They can find 3 outs and not have to bat again.
Holding the cards right now. That was big. I don't know how to put it any better than that. As Sophie Bird took the high fastball and just crushed it to straightaway center.
And you felt that one off the bat, too. I mean, that one was gone.
Big roar from the Grandview faithful.
Even in center field, Davison, she ran a few feet back, and then she just kind of watched it fly out of here. She didn't even chase that one all the way to the wall. We just knew it was gone.
Helpless feeling as an outfielder to just watch that ball fly over top of you.
Unless you feel like you want to scale a 12-foot fence to try to go after it. What a play that would be. 1-2 strikes the count here. Now on Cox, the pitcher, or that was the starting pitcher, now the first baseman. Fouls this one back to the backstop. She will have a no decision in this one. As Weitzel now will be in line for the win.
We'll look and see who's on the call for that game tonight. There could be some fireworks if this score holds between Grandview Christian and Regina.
The 1-1 pitch. And that one's in the dirt for a ball now. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom half of inning number 3. The offenses have come alive here in the last inning and a half. As we had a total of 5 runs before then, and since then, now we have 17. That one's in the dirt for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Cox with a 3-1 count. And her team now out in front 9-8. And the pitch. And that one will be in there for a called strike, now 3-2. So Neibauer will work back to a full count after falling behind to Cox 3-0.
Long delayed dramatic call from home plate.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
This game's gathered a lot of attention. A lot of fans standing around here from other schools.
3-2, ground ball, shortstop side, fire to first. Is it in time? It is not. I think it was going to be in time, but the ball was dropped over at first base.
Yeah, the umpire over there, Cam Cooksey, was already going into his out call, and the ball was dropped over at first. So the Thunder continue their rally here.
So that'll be an error charge to Regina over at first. As Rosado will step back in. And now if needed for Grandview Christian, they're going to be right back to that same part of the order if needed in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The part of the order that's come up the last 2 innings and has taken the lead twice. This one is fouled down the third base side. Out of play. Rosado will bat. But it's been Pelham and Rogers. And then back to that top of the order. Twice now here for Grandview Christian. Rosado will have Cruz and Beamer in between them.
Well, you've just had such great production from that bottom part of the order. The 8 and 9 hitters have started some gigantic rallies today for Grandview Christian. Pelham, Rogers, they've just got things off to a huge start in these big innings here in the 5th and the 6th.
The pitch is hit high in the air and deep to right field. Going back on it, and this one is also gone. See you later. 2 home runs in 3 plate appearances for Grandview Christian, and Harper Rosado will touch them all.
Double-digit home runs on the season for Rosado gives some insurance to Grandview Christian right now. Their bats that were pretty much silenced through 4 innings have absolutely come alive in the 5th and now the 6th. Just some huge swings for the Thunder. They got to be feeling really good about where things are right now.
That is big insurance now with a 13. Nope, should be, I think. Yep. And so we'll get that updated. It'll be a 3-run lead here for Grandview Christian, and Coach Kessler will come out and have a conversation with her pitcher in the circle, and everybody's kind of broken up in their different conversations. What's going on through the minds? What's that conversation like?
Well, right now, you just got to find, scratch, and claw your way to get the final out here. Just figure out a way to keep that ball low. That's 2 pitches left up in the zone that Grandview Christian is absolutely obliterated into the outfield. You got to figure out a way to get this final out, and keep in mind they still have one more chance to hit. So we'll see what Regina can do, but you got to do first things first and get this final out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Don't count Regina out of this softball game yet. Their offense has kept coming alive every time they've needed their offense to come alive. 11-8. And it's now 11-8. Here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 5 runs have come across the board for Grandview Christian on 2 monster home runs.
Well, we said these teams trading blows. Who's going to throw the haymaker to finish it off? Well, you definitely can't count out Regina here in the top of the 7th either, because they put up some runs in bunches.
Cruz, the batter, the designated player, fouls that one down the first base side. And it looks like that softball has finished its tour of duty.
Taken out of commission?
Yes. As the first base umpire picks it up, and maybe a little lopsided or something had been messed up on it. So we'll take that one out of commission. And
a little splat.
Yeah, we'll get a new one. We got plenty of them.
We can just grab a few from up above us.
That one misses high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Had some fun softball the last 3 days, partner. We get to see 8-1 upset on day 1, and
now
a couple players get some of their firsts, and now this one, a fitting way to end our calls together here in this tournament.
It has been a fun week of softball. That one down the first base side. Yeah, now that 8 seed that we got to see with an upset is looks like 1 out away. Oh, no, they'll have to. They're batting to the top of the 7th. They'll have to get 3 outs to be the first team to make a championship game.
Yeah, that would be, which is supposed to be the team off this field, but we've got delayed a little bit over here with some big, high-scoring games.
The 1-2, I don't know where we're at with some of the other games around the complex, but these were the first 2 to start.
Just a feel-good story for Edgewood Colesburg there in 1A. Rachel Eggleseder, gets diagnosed in the fall with Hodgkin's lymphoma, battles through it, declared cancer-free in June, and set the state record for strikeouts in a game in the first-round win. So just an incredible story there. I don't know how you can't pull for that squad.
That one's fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count, 2 outs, bottom half of any number 6. 11-8, a 3-run lead. This game is far from over. Regina will still get a bat in the top half of the 7th inning. How many will they be down by? Will they be down by 3 or more? Only time will tell.
I just got to wonder what Neibauer has left in her, as she's starting to labor a little bit right now. And, Grandview has touched her pretty strongly here the last couple innings. If they go back to Lily here tonight, or what they elect to go with.
Haynes, an 8th grader. This one is off the third base side. Haynes, an 8th grader, has 11, almost 12 innings this year.
Innings, not games. Innings.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been primarily Neibauer. And looking through, there's a few doubleheaders in there that I assume she pitched the bulk of those. Not many, though. I mean, they're playing primarily 1 game a day.
The 3-2. This one towards the left side of the infield. It's scooped and fired to first. Scooped out at first base in time. So that is the table that has been set. Regina will need 3 runs to tie and send us to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Otherwise, for the first time in IGHSAU history, Andy Pollock, we will have back-to-back games in the semifinals to advance to the championship. We'll come back. This is the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back to Fort Dodge in the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Elsewhere around, trying to catch up to us is the 3A game as Williamsburg leads Mount Vernon 3-0 in the bottom half of the fifth inning. So Williamsburg also trying to get to the same situation that we're in. They lead 3-0 in the bottom half of the fifth inning. We talked about 1A, what's going on there in Class 1A already. And then in Class 4A is the ADM Western Dubuque game. And I think Edco just did it.
What a story.
Edgewood Colesburg, the 8 seed, is off to the state championship game in Class 1A as they have taken down IGHSAU EHK in Audubon. And not only the 8 seed getting to the championship game, but the 8 seed sweeping through the tournament.
We said on day one, in fact, it was when we had their game, the strategy for winning a double elimination tournament, just win, baby, and that's what Edgewood Colesburg did.
So Edgewood Colesburg is the first team to reach second team as ADM has already beat Western Dubuque. So ADM, the first team to get to the state championship game. Edgewood Colesburg, the second team. Regina also trying to get to the state championship game, but they will. So 2 of the classes won't have the rebound game for sure. We could possibly have a rebound game here. We could also possibly have a rebound game in Class 3A. And Class 5A just got underway not too long ago with Waukee Northwest and Dallas Center Grimes. But here in this one, the Regals need 3, and they're going to start things off with Jordan Klein, their designated player. She fouls the second one back after the first one a strike, so it'll be no balls and 2 strikes, and it's the 8th grader Weitzel trying to end this one for Grandview Christian.
Well, again, if Regina, 7, 8, 9 hitters have had some success today.
In the air towards center field. It's hanging up long enough to get over and make the play for Pelham. 1 away for Grandview Christian. And that will send Chloe Rogers, the catcher, to the plates. Here in the 8 spot, as Andy alluded to, Maggie White, the right fielder, in the on-deck circle. She will bat next. The last due up. That one is swung on and missed by Rogers.
Weitzel's starting to bring some heat right now, throwing a lot of fastballs. I think you'll see a fair dose of her at least to get started if they were to get to this final game tonight.
In the 3rd and the 4th, a couple of outs recorded by Grandview Christian, and then with 2 outs, that one back to the... No, it's going to be caught behind the plate. It is Rosado.
Rosado's back in, yep.
Yeah, she's back in as the catcher, so they did make that change eventually. Rosado, who started the game as the first baseman, went out into the left field. Now she's the catcher, makes the play behind home plate, and now Grandview Christian is 1 out away from getting to the 2-game semifinal.
Some versatility there to play 3 different spots in one game. Recorded outs at 2 of them.
And play in different areas, not like
different spots on the field. Completely. Sometimes you'll see like a second baseman play shortstop or second baseman play third base or third baseman and so on. Not often do you see somebody at first base behind the plate and in the outfield. Yeah, a lot of different skill sets there.
This one is fouled back. And now just 2 strikes away. We are ahead of that Class 3A game, so if Grandview Christian can close this out, they will be the first ever team to make their way back after losing their opening round game to Cardinal. The number 1 seed will have battled their way all the way back to play in a true semifinal game against Regina. That one's in there for a called strike, and now just one strike away from IGHSAU history. One ball and two strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Weitzel has done it. Grandview Christian has done it. 2 home runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And with 5 runs they score for the first time in IGHSAU history. We will go to a winner-take-all semifinal matchup at 4:45 this afternoon. As the scheduled start might not get there at 4:45. The scheduled start of 4:45 between Grandview Christian and Regina. And the winner of that will face either Wapsie Valley or Logan Magnolia in the state championship.
Well, now it's just a situation where both teams got to go get your bodies fueled up. You got a couple hours, but if you're the pitchers, get through your arm care routine, your post-game routine, and then get ready to get back into your pregame and get ready to go. I mean, these girls do it in club. You take breaks like this all the time, but it's a matter of you just lost this game. Sophie Bird, well-deserved, going to move her team on to that winner-take-all final round tonight of this semifinal series. But, you got to get everybody focused in and locked in and ready to go for that one-game playoff tonight.
Sophie Bird has advanced her team with a home run. She has advanced her team on the bracket. And the number 1 seed will stay alive to play the 4 seed once again. Well, we appreciate everybody that is tuned in for this one. Make sure you stay with us as we have plenty more softball to come your way here on Hy-Vee Field today. As again, coming up next is Wapsie Valley and Logan Magnolia in another situation that we were just in here. Depending on the game of that outcome, we'll for sure have a game at 4:45 and possibly another game at 7 p.m. this evening. He's Andy Pollock. For our entire crew here in Fort Dodge, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our great sponsors. I'm Sarah Negastal saying have a great afternoon and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and